All right, Brett. How's that? Is that coming across better? Hey, Brett. How's that? How about now? Is that coming across better? What's up, Frank Riker? How's it going? Hey, Frank, are you able to hear me good? I was having a little bit of volume issues. All right, good. You guys can hear me now? Thanks, Brett. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Letting people see some more people coming in. Like I said, tonight, I dedicated this show to talk about Scream 5. Since we've been getting all the updates and whatnot, I figured I didn't really want to make a video about it, so I figured I might as well go live. And all right, good. Thanks, Brett. Perfect. Sweet. All right, and finally got a release date on Scream 5. I know probably all good, Frank. Thanks, man. I know we ain't getting the release date that we really wanted, being that it's not till January 14th, 2022, which seems like forever away. Ashley, how you doing? I know it sucks since they had to push Halloween Kills back, and now they push Candyman back, and now they're not going to release Scream 5 until 2022. I know it sucks, but I have a feeling it's going to be worth the wait. I think they're going to work on it hard, get it right, and do what they have to do to give us the best Scream possible. And tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think they should do and what I feel about the updates and what's going on with Scream 5. I know Kevin Williamson wrote the other Screams, and it looks like this one he's going to be the executive producer, which means pretty much nothing, to be honest. I think they just put his name attached to it so the fans would be like, oh shit, Kevin Williamson's attached to this. When in reality, he's probably not going to have that big of a role. They just wanted a name attached to it since Wes Craven is no longer with us. R.I.P., my good sir. So they wanted a familiar name associated with it. That's just what I'm thinking. So he said, shit, you might as well sign me up. Radio Silence is going to be the ones directing this puppy. Whoa. Frank Riker coming in saying Scream can come out in 22. Not a Scream 5 fan, Mr. Frank. I guess it's not for everybody. I know. And I don't really know where the story's going to go with this one, but I know it's got its fans. All right. So like I said, no Wes Craven. Radio Silence is taking over. They directed Ready or Not, which came out not too long ago. I didn't see that movie, but the reviews that I saw on it said it was pretty good. So there should be a little bit of hopes for Scream 5. Like I said, I don't really know too much about them, but as long as they're kind of using the same formula that Wes Craven set up and not going too far off the beaten path, it should be okay. It should be okay. And Frank, I see you hate Scream, but you're here anyway, so I do appreciate you being here in the chat. So that means a lot to me, even though you don't like it. So returning cast members, people were always wondering, are we going to get the big three back? Are we going to get David Arquette, Courtney Cox, and Neve Campbell back? And the first one we got was David Arquette. He was all go from the very beginning. I mean, let's face it, he ain't doing too much of anything else probably, so no shit, he's, in a hurry to come back. But he's reprising his role as Dewey. I've noticed that he's been super jacked. He's getting all ripped and whatnot. So maybe he's going to have a different kind of role in this movie compared to his bumbling, childlike demeanor in the previous Scream movies. Brett, Scream is your favorite. I heard you talk about that on your Scream video on Good Real Hunting today when I was watching it. Good stuff, by the way, my man. If anybody never checked it out yet, go check Brett's channel out. Good Real Hunting. Some good. They did episode 0 and episode 1. All good shit so far that I've seen. I really enjoyed it today while I was working. So back in May, we got David Arquette. He signed on. He said in the articles and whatnot, he said he wanted to do it for Wes. And I kind of believe that, but I also think he wants to do it for a paycheck. But I don't blame him. Money's money, so I don't really blame him for that. Then, in a separate announcement in July, we got Courtney Cox coming back as Gale Weathers. Honestly, with Gale, I think her character's kind of run her course. In Scream 4, her role was pretty much reduced. She wasn't doing any more reporting or anything, so she was kind of lackadaisical. So I don't really know what her role is going to be in this one either. I don't know if it could possibly be any less than what it was in 4. But she's coming back. Take it or leave it, I guess. And then finally, 6 days ago, Neve Campbell announced that she's coming back to reprise her role as Sidney Prescott, and she will be returning to Woodsboro, which gives it a clue that obviously this movie will take place in Woodsboro once again. I mean, I kind of figured it would. I mean, where else is it going to take place? But it's taking place in Woodsboro, so we all know it's going to be back there again on familiar territory. Only question I have is, why would Sidney Prescott still live in Woodsboro after all this shit, unless she has to come back again like she did in part 4? I don't know how many times you're going to go back to the same town, that all this bad shit happening. Kind of like Laurie Strode, still living on the outskirts of Haddonfield. If that shit happened to me in Halloween 1978, I ain't going to be living in Haddonfield still. I don't know about you guys. I wouldn't be living there. That is a good question, my man. How is Courtney and David going to get along? I know, since they got divorced, what I read, I guess they said they're gonna do their best to get along, and they're gonna act like nothing happened in this movie. So hopefully, if it's for a paycheck, they're gonna get along. That's for damn sure. That's pretty much all they care about. Working with them might be a little hard at first, but spending all those months in production and whatnot with them, they'll get over it, I'm sure. But if I'm not mistaken, they were married in Scream 4, correct? So obviously they're going to be married in this one again, unless magically they got a divorce in the franchise as well. We'll see how that goes. But they noticed there were 3 separate announcements kind of to get people stirring, like, man, is Nev Campbell going to come back? Is Nev going to come back? But we knew, Nev Campbell knew she was coming back months ago. They were just working on the details of her contract, I'm sure, how much that bank account is going to get raised, cha-ching, cha-ching, because it's all about the money, you know. And once the money was right, sign on the dotted line. And as long as Nev said, as long as they were going to do this in Wes's image and make him proud, she was all go. And so their ideas must have been pretty damn good for Nev to come back, because I don't think Nev really, she might have, but I don't know if Nev would have came back for a paycheck in this one. Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. Tallness, achieving. What are your thoughts on Marley Shelton's Judy Hicks character? Do you think she was involved in Scream 4 with the murders? No, I don't. I think she was too busy making them lemon bars and lemon squares to be killing people. But I don't think, unless that was just the way her character was set up, I don't think she was, I don't know if she was smart enough to be in on the murders. But I know she is coming back for this movie. So unless they throw that twist in there that she's part of it, I don't think so. I think she's actually a good cop, because if you think about it, she got shot by Emma Roberts' character in part 4, so she technically could have been dead, but she had the life vest on. So Frank Riker, would you want to work with your ex? On the other hand, money heals all wounds. If we reconciled our differences, I think that I wouldn't mind working with my ex if I had one. I don't think I would mind. And like you said, obviously, if the paycheck is good enough, I don't think she really cares. Either one of them really cares, as long as the money's good. But if we're going to have Ghostface in a Scream movie, you kind of had to have Nev Campbell and Sidney Prescott's character, because at this point, Sidney's been in every single movie. So those two go together like peanut butter and jelly. And some people were thinking that this could be the end of Nev, possibly, or she could come back as the killer. There's a lot of theories get floating around, a lot of fan ideas that are going around. But like I said before, my main thing I'm taking away is that they're all going back to Woodsboro, and what has happened and that would make any of these people come back. And like, I guess Dewey's still working there, I'm assuming, but you would think eventually these people might want to move on from this town with all the bad stuff that happened there, and they're still hanging around. So I don't. In the chat, would you guys be hanging around after all this shit that went down, and you're still going to be in this town after all these kids were murdered, all these other people were murdered, and it isn't like a one-time deal. It just keeps happening and happening and happening. Eventually, maybe after the first time, you're like, okay, that was a one-time deal, we'll stick around. But to be there after 4 different times. Okay, maybe the third one don't count, I don't think, right? Because the third one was not in Woodsboro, if I'm not mistaken. That was in, Hollywood or something? So that one doesn't count. But the other 3 times, and you're still going back. I guess you just love the town. You love the atmosphere. You love the shops, your favorite restaurants. I guess you're going to keep coming back. Yeah, Frank. You're right. You're right about that. But, I mean, it wasn't like, for the most part, in the Halloween franchise, it wasn't like Michael was just going house to house to house to house, killing people for the most part. The majority of the films, he was after specific people at specific locations. So really, because like in Halloween 2, whenever Michael's at the hospital, he ain't. Obviously, there was other patients there, but he didn't mess with any of them. Just the nursing staff and the paramedics, and then chasing after Lori. So I see your point, but then I kind of don't. But I guess if I was them, I probably wouldn't live in Haddonfield either, or Woodsboro, or the people that go up to Camp Crystal Lake every single summer, knowing that Jason Voorhees, the legend, and last summer 8, 13, 12 kids got killed or whatever, and they're like, oh, let's go up to Crystal Lake, let's go camping, dude. Filthy Dan, what's going on, man? Thanks for hanging out. I mean, obviously you got to do all these things, or there would be none of these franchises that we love. But I guess that's what we're going to find out. What drew Nev back to Woodsboro? And I am excited to find out, definitely. I know I've been hearing a lot of fans, especially you, Brett Stewart, wanting Kirby back. And I've heard others say they want Kirby back. There was no proof that she technically died in Scream 4. So there's a possibility that she could come back. I wouldn't be opposed to it. She's a good-looking chick, so easy on the eyes, so I wouldn't mind that. But so far, she's not in any talks to come back. I know she got her hair cut to look like she did when she played Kirby, so maybe they're keeping this one under wraps too. Maybe Sid might pass the torch to Hayden. Who knows? I mean, I wouldn't hate that idea because she was a good character. She knew all about horror movies, just like every single one of us in our community. And like I said, my man Brett, you damn right I want Kirby back. I know you do. There's a lot of people that do. So she's been stirring around if she's going to come back. I know they added a ton of new characters, young cast. I didn't write any of their names down because honestly, I didn't know who pretty much any of them even were. But that's fine because obviously when I watched the Friday the 13th movies and whatnot, I didn't know hardly any of those characters either and fell in love with them as the movies went on. So it's not a bad thing that we don't know any of these characters or these actors that play them. We might grow to like them. We don't know. So they're getting this cast together. Somebody that's not been mentioned about coming back, and it's a theory that how would he even be alive? Talking about Matthew Lillard as Stu. Yes, he got stabbed. He was feeling a little woozy here. He cut me too deep. I know he got cut deep. I know he was bleeding. And then I know that Billy hit me with the phone, Dick. I know he got hit with the phone too. And then he was sad that, did you really call the police? My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me. Yeah, we get all that. He's bleeding out. Sydney smashes that vase on his head and then drops that big ass tube TV on his head. I know that would probably kill a normal person in real life, but these are the movies, and you know how things go in the movies. Magically, he could be okay. I mean, the cops and the paramedics did just get there, so it wasn't like he was laying there forever or whatever. The paramedics could have rushed in there, got the TV off and everything, and helped, make sure he didn't die. And okay, I like that. Petition to bring Randy back. I do like that as well. I do like that. I was thinking about Randy coming back too, but I haven't heard really anything about him coming back at all. I didn't, unless anybody else seen any tweets or anything on Instagram or whatever, social media. I didn't see anything about Jamie Kennedy coming back. I would love for Randy to come back. He was probably one of my favorite characters. I did see some rumors about him possibly possibly faking his death whenever he got killed in the van. I mean, you saw the little bit of blood dripping down. Really, Frank Riker. You didn't like Jamie Kennedy? I love Jamie Kennedy. I think he was like the nerdy horror movie guy. Oh, yep, Brett. I'll be right back. I think if Jamie Kennedy comes back, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. If the filmmakers don't let us know everybody that's coming back, it could be a surprise character, just like in Halloween Kills. I think there's some characters coming back that they never discussed or never disclosed to anybody, so it's going to be a surprise when we see them. It didn't say they were going to be a huge character when they come back, but they definitely said they could have some people coming back that they didn't talk about. What's good, crew member? How you doing, man? Filthy Dan, am I the only one that wants to see Sydney bite the dust? No, my good sir. I am actually, I think, right there with you. I kind of want Sydney to go. It's been a long time. I mean, what we're going on when that comes out, that'll be 2022. So we've had her for 26 years. All three of these. I think it's time. Frank, what if the movie is a sequel to the first, like H-18 did? Personally, I don't bring him back. The deputy from Part 4. I don't think that's the way they're gonna go at all. If they did go that route, I would say that probably Stu did not die. If they would go that route, it would just make sense, possibly for him to. Like I said, the paramedics came in. They weren't too late. Jason Nike, what's up, man? How you doing? It wouldn't be too late. They got him. They, maybe if they had to revive him, they revived him, or they rushed him to the hospital emergency room, did surgery, blah, blah, blah. Possibility. That's what they could do if they based it off the Halloween 18 way of doing things. But I don't think that's the way. I don't think that's the way that it's going to happen. I just think it's going to be just another sequel to set up another couple sequels. I'm thinking this is going to be Scream 5, 6, and 7 is what I'm thinking. I just don't. I don't want them to ruin a good thing. Like Scream 3 was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it was the worst of the franchise. Then they came back with 4. I know some people like it a lot, some people don't. I'm kind of in the middle. When I watched it the first time, I was kind of like, wow, that was lame. But once I watched it a few more times, it kind of grew on me. I need to rewatch it again. I don't really watch Scream 4 that often. When it comes to the Scream franchise, I stick mainly with Scream 1 and occasionally Scream 2 because I love Timothy Olyphant. He's an awesome actor in Good as the Killer. Even though when I see him, I just picture Girl Next Door and him being a freaking porn guy. But other than that, yeah. So hopefully 5 can kind of redeem itself for me because I wasn't really feeling 4 that much. I guess it might have had to do with Emma Roberts. I mean, I don't not like Emma Roberts, but I just think that character was was overkill, to be honest. The parts whenever she was bashing her head into the picture frames and then jumping in the air and crashing through a freaking coffee table. Once that shit started happening, I kind of checked out. And then it kept dragging on when she goes to the hospital, and then she's freaking hitting people with a bedpan and shit. It just got drug on. So it reminded me of Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 to be like the ending that dragged on forever that I hoped would end, but it never did. That's what Scream 4 ending was. It just kept going on and on and on and on and on. I just wanted it to end. What we got here? I tried to watch Scream 3 over and over again, and I just can't get myself to like it. I didn't mind it when it first came out. I didn't mind it that much, but the more you watch it compared to the other ones, it's just not that good. They got that creepy scene whenever Ghostface is in that like body bag thing as Sid's mother. That part's creepy, and the part when Randy has that videotape, that part kind of gets you sad a little bit if you liked Randy. Yeah, I get. So in Scream 5, with all the theories going around, there's a ton of them. I've been thinking a couple things of what I think is going to happen in the movie. And one of the things that's been going on, I'm kind of in the camp that I think Stu might have survived from Scream 1. And he's just been, hiding in the shadows and orchestrating things from the background. And as all these other Scream killers have tried to kill Sidney and none of them could, he finally says, screw this shit. I got to get back out there and do it myself. Which kind of like in Scream, the original idea for Scream 3 was to have Stu in jail orchestrating all this shit to try to kill Sidney finally and all this stuff, which never got made. Columbine happened and they changed Scream 3 altogether. They didn't want any killing. They didn't want any blood. And Wes Craven was like, no, it's a Scream movie. We got to do it this way. If you go no blood, no kills, it's just not going to make any sense. And the fans are really not going to like it. They already didn't like Scream 3 as it was when it came out. If they would have done that, nobody would have liked it. So we got the Scream 3 we got, and it just wasn't very good. And then the killer reveal was like, oh, it's me, your half-brother. And you're like, oh, didn't know I had you. That's cool. They pulled a Jason Goes to Hell, throwing in a half-sibling that nobody knew about for the whole franchise, and then think that we're going to be like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I like it. No, didn't work. The only thing good about 3 was the beginning with Cotton. Crew member. Good question. Just kind of talking about that. Did you like Roman, or that 3 was the only one with the single killer? No, I did not like Roman. Honestly, I didn't suspect it was Roman because I really thought he was dead. But no, he was a boring character who kind of whined too much. And his killing reason was pretty much pity me, blah, blah, blah. I wanted your life. Even though he was directing movies in Hollywood, probably had cash out the ass, and he wanted Sidney's life. I'd have been fine with my own life. You're rich living in Hollywood. What is so bad about that? And like I said, the reveal, we were just like, oh, it's you. It really didn't have any meaning, to be honest. So the single killer aspect, I prefer 2. I prefer 2 killers, to be honest. I like one orchestrating over here, one doing something over here. That makes it a hell of a lot more creepier because it's 2. You don't know where they're going to be at. Frank Riker. What if all 5 killers come back in our Ghostface? That would be weird. I guess they were all resurrected dead, or they all were not pronounced dead, and they were teaming up like the freaking like Avengers and were assembling to come back and kill Sidney. I guess is what you're going for. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, Frank. Was there another killer in 3? I've seen people saying that the Sid actress might have been. Any thoughts? I've honestly never heard that. But the actress that played Sid, the actress that played the Sidney in the movie Stab, no, I don't think she would have been the killer. She was pretty much just stealing all the freaking like merchandise and shit because she knew the film was getting canceled. So she was just taking the masks and stuff and getting the hell out of there. I think she got killed anyway, right? Yeah, she got killed. I don't really remember that too much. I think she got killed and thrown through the glass, maybe. I honestly don't remember. Don't remember that at all. But Another theory. Well, I guess that kind of ties into the first one. It's either Stu was orchestrating it or Stu is the killer. One or the others are some of the theories that have been going around, and I could see either one happening. But like I said, they'd have to keep the studios and all the actors and actresses would have to keep that a secret, because once that gets out, I mean, the fans will be super hyped, but it would be even crazier if they just shocked you in the movie and bam, he pops up, which would be pretty sweet. All right, Jason, we'll be here, my friend. Let me see. Crew member. I wish we could have seen Billy or Stu in the costume in the kitchen, though. Just a nitpick. Yeah, I think. I mean, we did get to see Ghostface. I would have preferred to see Ghostface a hell of a lot more. Yeah, you're right, Brett. She did sleep with the producer or whatever to get the part. But I don't personally think that she had anything to do with the killings at all. She seemed too dumb to do anything. And the other thing with Stu, if he comes back, would be the Stu was in jail part, and he gets released from prison, and then he goes back to Woodsboro, I guess, because that's where obviously he was from. He goes back to Woodsboro to live a normal life. He put the killing shit in the past, but the killings start up again, and the real killer is obviously kind of framing Stu the perfect opportunity. There was no killings until Stu got released from prison, and then the killing started to happen again, because he's easy to frame it on, obviously, because he did it the first time. Who's to say he ain't going to do it again? Frank, he said they got to make this movie memorable because it'll probably be the last. I don't know. I know they wanted to make this a new trilogy is what they were saying, but I guess that all depends if the first one does good. Obviously, with Halloween, they didn't know if there was going to be any more, but Halloween 2018 rocked it at the box office, so they greenlit Kills and Ends. So this Scream 5, if it is good, obviously they'll greenlight 2 new sequels after that. It's kind of different than Halloween, though, because it's Michael Myers, you know what I mean? He's like indestructible. These are just, in Scream movies, they're just teenagers, they're kids. They're definitely just totally normal people, nothing mysterious about them at all. And the fact that in this one town, just up 2 killers this time, up 2 killers this time, another killer, 2 more killers. And then this movie, it's kind of getting ridiculous as to how many killers, you know what I mean? It's just, how many killers live in this town? Like, how many killers live where you live or I live that we don't even know about? I don't know, just kind of far-fetched. I did like the idea, though, of Stu getting released from jail and then getting framed for the murders. What do you guys think about that idea? Would you guys like that idea, or would you rather Stu be the killer if he would happen to come back? Let me know your thoughts. Damn, this is fun hanging out with you guys tonight. I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. Some more theories that we're talking about. Like I said earlier, Randy faked his death, and now he's came back as the killer, or he was orchestrating the killings before. I don't know how I feel about that one either. I mean, Sidney did ditch him for Billy, so after the first one, Randy could have been like, "Damn, I'm trying to kill this bitch," and then in the second one, Sidney was hooked up with Derek. Once again, ignoring Randy, who always loved Sid. So maybe eventually he did snap. And then somewhere in the middle of part 2, he faked his death so they think he was dead, and then he'd come back later. I know he recorded that video and they played it in 3, but that could also be a cover-up as well to make Sidney think, damn, he's really dead. And Randy's sister was there, and she thinks he's really dead, when really he's been alive this whole time, just playing them. Yeah, that is definitely true. New generation for horror. Scream 5 could actually do well. Yeah, that's true. That's true as well. They could. Horror fans like totally different things, and then the new kids, the new younger people coming up, they didn't grow up with the original Scream, so this one could blow up for them, and they could fall in love with this all over again. Damn, Frank, your wife threatens to kill you every day. You're still alive though, man. You're still doing all right. Filthy Dan, I don't want to see it unless it's marketed as Scream. Yeah, I don't want them to make. A lot of these horror films now are turning into these psychological, make you think. I don't want to do that when I watch a Scream movie. I want to watch a fun-ass slasher movie. They do need to up the kills a little bit. I mean, stab, slash, all the same. Never creative in this movie whatsoever in the kills department in this franchise. I think they need to step up the kills a little bit. Do some crazy-ass shit. I know the buck knife is badass, and it's symbolic to... Mr. Ghostface right there. Maybe use some different weapons occasionally. Michael Myers got the butcher knife, but occasionally he switches up what he's using. Jason has a machete, but occasionally he switches it up. So maybe it's time for Ghostface to throw in some new kind of weapons. I mean, I would love to see him using something else. Oh, sorry, Dan. All Dan was talking about was having the S in Scream be a 5. But I think my points were valid as well. But thanks for setting me off on a little tangent, Dan. I appreciate it. Another theory. Dewey snaps and becomes the killer. I could see that one as well. As much shit as he's been through. How many times he's been stabbed in the back, walking with a limp. Always been the cop that's getting made fun of. The weak cop. Horror man, what's up? How you doing? So I could see Dewey snapping as well. There's just so many possibilities for the killer in this movie. Just it's gonna get people hyped from now until the movie comes out. For us who want to see it. Sorry, Frank, not you, I guess. Another person that could be the killer. It could be Courtney Cox's character. It could be Nev. It could be Gail Weathers. She had enough of this shit. She hasn't been getting any work. She hasn't been doing reporting anymore. She hasn't been writing any books. She starts the killing, and she starts killing people, and then writing about it, writing book about it, getting back on the news, until Sydney, of course, or maybe the new cast of characters, gets back into it and finds out, that she's the one orchestrating it. But I don't see that one coming to fruition at all. There's a filthy Dan agreeing with me. Yeah, Ghostface needs to diversify. He's kind of boring in the kill department. Hey, Michael Myers Reacts. What's going on? Yep, definitely. If you ever checked out his channel, Michael Myers Reacts, give it a check. It's pretty good shit over there. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for stopping in tonight. So that's another possibility as the killer. Another theory, Nev Campbell, Sidney Prescott finally gets sick and tired of this shit, and she becomes the killer. I mean, she's donned the Ghostface robe and mask before. I mean, she just did it to kill Billy. But she did it. Marty McFly, what's up, man? She did put it on. She looked kind of good in it. She looked pretty good in the Scream costume. She stabbed him with the umbrella and shit. My only question in Scream 1 is why did she feel she needed to put that costume on just to hide in the closet and then pop out and stab him with an umbrella? She could have just done that without, she could have done that without putting on the costume. It really wasn't necessary. But it was cool to see her in the costume. I give her that, but I don't think she's gonna come back as the killer. That's just a possible theory. If any of the big three could be the killer, I would say Dewey. over any of the other ones, which could be a reason why he's getting all jacked, turning his image around. Who knows? Good crew member. Were you guys kind of shocked at how brutal Charlie killed the chick in Scream 4? Blood splattered everywhere. Sorry, blanking on her name. Charlie, I don't know how I feel about him as a killer either. When I see him, I just think of Macaulay Culkin. So I can't take him too seriously as the killer. It really doesn't make any sense at all, to be honest with me. My boy Marty McFly down here also wondering why Sydney put on the costume. It just, I guess we didn't really, back in 1996 or whenever we saw this for the first time, you're not really thinking about that. You're not thinking about that at all as to why she put the costume on. But now, it really didn't make any sense at all why she put the costume on. But it was cool. It was a cool little moment for a second anyway. Because then she ripped it right off after that. So I don't really think she's going to be the killer. I do think that at least one, if not two, of the big three are going to die. I could see them opening them up with kind of the Drew Barrymore treatment. I could see. I wouldn't think that they would open with a Sidney Prescott kill, but it could happen. But I don't personally think that is what's going to happen. I could see Gale Weathers getting killed in the opening, the Drew Barrymore effect. But the thing about that is, I don't think it's going to have the same meaning as when it happened in the first one. Drew Barrymore was a huge star at that point in time back in 96. It was a shock. We thought she was going to be the main girl, the final girl of that movie. And she got taken out in the first, what is the opening? About 15 minutes. One of the best openings in a horror movie ever. And she was taken out. If they do the same thing in this movie to Gale, I don't know if I would be as shocked or care as much, to be honest with you. I mean, if they'd open it up and kill off Dewey and Gale in the first 10, 15 minutes of movie, then I'd probably be shocked as hell. But if they just killed Gale off in the first, I'd be like, whatever. If they killed Dewey, I'd be a little sad. I kind of like David Arquette, Dewey's character. And if they killed Sydney, which I don't see happening, then I'd be ultra shocked as hell. Let me see. Yeah. Crew member said, I can't buy Charlie doing that, like being as brutal and killing. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I just seen him as like a movie nerd. I don't see him as that vicious killing type. I would see Emma Roberts, Jill, her character, as even though she is smaller, she was a vicious girl in that movie. She hasn't taken no shit. I mean, like I said, slamming herself into the mirror and crashing into the table. It's pretty crazy shit. And that's kind of where the movie lost it for me, though, in Scream 4. But I'd say it's not the worst Scream. That's the thing about the Scream franchise. They only got 4 movies, but they're all 4 decent. Scream 3 is the worst of the franchise, but compared to other franchises, it's still a pretty decent third film. It's not really bad at all, to be honest with you. I think out of the big movies, I guess the worst third film would probably go to Halloween 3, and the only reason for that is because Michael Myers wasn't in it. But if you watch Halloween 3, I really enjoy the movie. I don't know what you guys think. Ooh, Brettman says, thoughts about Trevor's death and Emma Roberts' mother's death. I was shocked that that her mom died. I wouldn't think that Emma Roberts' character would have went that far into kill her mom, to be honest with you. So that was Sydney's aunt. That kind of shocked me a little bit, but I wasn't I wasn't really attached to any of these characters really in Scream 4. So when they died, I didn't really care too much, to be honest. Like I like the character. Obviously, I love the characters in Scream 1. I I liked most of the characters in Scream 2. Scream 3, Scream 4, not really. Besides Kirby, not really. And Dewey. Kirby and Dewey were about the only ones in Scream 4 that I liked. What about the chat? Who was your favorite characters in Scream 4? Scream 3, I can't even think of any of the people that were in that movie, to be honest with you, because they were all posing as Gail, Dewey, and whatever. I know Princess Leia was in it. The lady who played her, she was in the security room or whatever, the props area. She was over there, so that was like a little cameo. But Lance Henriksen was in Scream 3. I mean, he's a horror guy. He's in all kinds of stuff. Ashley Morrow says, "I love Halloween 3." I like Halloween 3 a lot. I'm thinking during October, I'll definitely be talking about Halloween 3. I might do a show on Halloween 3, a live. I don't know. I know I reviewed it already, and I do like it a lot. See, that's the thing. Halloween 3 is good if you're open-minded about it and have a positive attitude. Yeah, I don't really care. It didn't bother me that Michael Myers wasn't in Halloween 3 because I knew he wasn't in it. I mean, they kind of marketed it. Obviously, it was Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. But if you just look at the trailer and stuff, what would make you think that Michael Myers was even in that movie to begin with to get pissed off that he wasn't in the movie? Other than the title. I watched the trailer. It doesn't show anything. It shows a witch's mask and the eyes opening up and a spider coming out the mouth. What does that have to do with Michael Myers? You should have known off the bat. So don't go to the theater and then be like, oh shit, Michael ain't in this one. Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand the hate towards it. If you hate it for anything, hate it for being a cheesy sci-fi flick. Don't hate on it because the only reason is Michael Myers wasn't in it. Said, I guess Emma Roberts, just because I'm a huge AHS fan. I love American Horror Story too, and I loved her in that. And she was also in Scream Queens too, and I loved her in that as well. I just didn't like her in this movie. It was probably more her character than actually her herself. I liked her character in those other shows, like the stuck-up bitch type girl. I liked her. She played that role very well. Another like for Halloween 3 is fun. Ashley thinks I should do a live on Halloween 3. I think I will do that. I think I'll dedicate maybe one of my October lives to Halloween 3. I could probably talk about that for a while. It's a good movie. It got Tom Atkins in it. What else do you want? Dr. Chalice, you know what I mean? Smacking people on the ass. It's good stuff. But, so this is going to be the 5th Scream movie, and they're thinking, like I said, of going to 7. How long, like the other franchises, how long before we just get sick of it? And then once they do this, are they just going to, bam, reboot it with Scream 1 again? Are they going to do that again? Are we going to reboot another franchise and go Scream with a new cast of characters doing the same old shit with a new Sidney Prescott and a new this? Or would they go the Halloween route and go Scream 1, get rid of all the stuff in between, Scream again? I don't know. It's a never-ending. I know we love these. We love all these guys. We love Freddy. We love Michael, Jason, Ghostface. We don't ever want them to end. But eventually they have to. Okay, I lied. I don't ever want there not to be a Michael Myers. I don't ever want there to not be a Halloween or a Friday. We've lived too long without a Friday the 13th. It's been way too long. I see a lot of you saying no Scream reboots, no Scream reboots. And I completely agree. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I know a lot of people probably don't. Once Halloween Kills and Ends comes out and is done, I know we don't want to see it, but I guarantee they're either gonna reboot it again, or they're gonna pick up after Resurrection, or they're gonna pick up after Halloween 4 and bring back Rachel and Jamie and erase 5 and 6. There's just so many routes to go that I don't see the Halloween franchise ever going away. And Friday the 13th, obviously, when we ever get a new one, it's probably going to be a reboot again, unless they somehow make a sequel to 2009's Friday the 13th, which I'm game for because I love the reboot and I love Derek Mears as Jason. So I'm totally fine with that. I know a lot of people didn't like that movie. I did. I'm planning on doing a live on the reboot of Friday the 13th, 2009 as well, but I'm saving that for November when we actually get a Friday the 13th. I'm looking forward to that as well. But back to Scream. Obviously, Scream 1 is the best. There's no denying it. It's the undisputable best Scream in the franchise. What's your second favorite? Everybody in the chat, what's your second favorite Scream? For me, I know a lot of people say 4, actually. My favorite is 2. It's definitely 2. It's a good follow-up to 1. I like one of the 2 killers in Scream 2. I do not like Aunt Jackie for the second killer. I mean, her motive for being the killer makes a hell of a lot of sense. But it's Aunt Jackie from Roseanne. Come on. It's Roseanne's sister. I am not seeing her kill anybody. However, Mickey was a crazy son of a bitch who wanted to do the killing to get famous. And he was just as crazy as Stu. He was the Stu character in that movie. As Billy was the leader, Mrs. Loomis was the leader in the second movie. And Timothy Olyphant nailed that role. I pretty much like him in anything that he's in. He's a very good actor. Yes, minus the stupid lunchroom singing scene with Jerry O'Connell. Even though every time that comes on, I stand up and sing that part of it. So I'm not going to hate on it too much. Michael Myers says, Scream 2 was great, kind of like Halloween and Halloween 2. They both had good-ass sequels. Yep, I like Halloween 2, but I'm a Halloween 2018 guy. So if I'm going to go 1 and 2, I'm going Halloween 1, 1978, and Halloween 2018. But that's just me. I'm a huge Halloween 2018 guy. But I think I love you. Oh, I'm going to start singing that for you guys right now. I'll step up on this chair and start singing that for you guys. Maybe I'll get more viewers. Or maybe I'll lose everybody and everybody will unsubscribe. But eventually that might be worth a shot. I might get up here and sing and see how it goes. But yeah, definitely I saw a lot of Scream 2s in the chat as their second favorite Scream. Thoughts on Scary Movie, Brett? I love Scary Movie. I watched it the other day for the first time in years. And honestly, I knew every line that was going on. It's like like I said, I haven't watched it in years, and I put it on, and I knew every line like I just watched it yesterday. Oh, okay, I won't sing No Partridge Family. Sorry. But yeah, I love Scary Movie. I love Scary Movie 2 as well. But then after that, it just goes downhill because it switches from R to PG-13, and then it just gets like 1 and 2 were stupid, but they were fun. After 3, 4, and I think it's 3, 4, and 5, they just go downhill, and they're just not very funny at all. And I know they also made Shriek If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th as a parody to Scream, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. I thought that movie was pretty funny too, but that one doesn't get talked about as much. But yeah, Scary Movie 1 is awesome with Anna Faris and the Wayans brothers. And what's her name? Regina Hall, maybe? I think. But that's good stuff. I wonder if they start Scream 5 up again, they'll come out with another scary movie. It wouldn't shock me. Not at all. He had a boot. Where's the foot? Was that Shannon Elizabeth? And then Greg beats the shit out of her for take it to our grave. H2O should have been the end to the Halloween franchise. Kind of. Technically, yeah, I guess. But it was Halloween should have been Halloween 1978, and then that would have been it. But it was so popular that obviously they had to make more sequels, and now we got how many Halloweens we got now? 11, gonna be 12, 13. So it could have stopped anywhere, but it just kept going. 1 would have been good to stop at. 2 would have been good to stop at. I saw Dave McCrae. He was talking about part 4 could have been the ending to Halloween. And every time it ends, they got to freaking bring it back with a shitty sequel. It happened every time, except for 1 and 2. 1 and 2 was good. Then 4 was good, and then 5 sucked. 6 was eh. Then they in the other timeline in part 7 chopped his head off. No, bring it back to life. Part 8 sucked. Yeah. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 got shot in the face, point blank range. No, bring it back for Halloween 2. Not very good. So it could have ended a lot of times, but it never did. As long as it makes money, it's going to keep on going. Definitely. It's just like Scream. It's probably going to keep going too. It just takes way longer to come out compared to Halloween movies that are like boom, boom, boom. Every so many years, you're going to eventually get one or a reboot or whatever. Scream, on the other hand, when this comes out, Scream 4 came out in 2011? This is going to be 11 years later. A lot of shit has changed. Another thing with the Scream 5 coming out, what kind of technology do you guys think they're going to use? I mean, they had cell phones in part 4, and they did the kills live. I don't really know where else we could go with it unless, they could do Zoom, but I don't want to see people getting killed over Zoom. That wouldn't make any sense. But there's just so much to talk about with Scream 5, and obviously news is going to keep coming out. I know they're going into production here pretty soon. I saw, was it like September 26th or something like that? They're going into production somewhere around there. So they're going to get this up and running as long as COVID don't mess it all up and destroy everything again. Ashley says, I think 2 should have been it, but I do love 4. Yeah, they could use FaceTime. And Ashley, are you talking about Halloween 2 and 4, or are you talking about Scream 2 and 4? So, like I said, there's just so many options who the killer could be, or it could be none of those people from the old movies, and it's a fresh cast of characters with the new actors and actresses that they have coming in, and one of them could be the killer. But I don't really understand what their motive would be, because obviously they're going to be younger. Unless they just want to be, hey, all you other people tried to kill Sydney and we actually did it. That kind of thing to become famous and like legendary. But I don't really think that'd be a good enough reason to make another Scream movie just so somebody else could be like a legend for killing the almighty Sidney Prescott. That just seems kind of lame. And if Sydney doesn't die in this movie, it's probably just time for her to pass the torch. And I've been hearing that a lot on a lot of channels on YouTube and whatnot. But it's probably time. It just like in Halloween, it's time for Laurie to go away, I think. As much as people don't want to hear that, I think it's time for Laurie to go. She's been hanging around forever. They brought her back multiple times. You thought she was going to die in Halloween 2018, but she lived again. And then possibility she could die in Kills, but I highly doubt it. Ends, bigger possibility she could die. Any thoughts? Oh, wait, here we go. Any thoughts about incorporating someone in that is like Billy's cousin? I don't see them going that route. No. Um, that would seem kind of too Scream 4, to be honest, since it was Sydney's cousin that was the killer. I don't think they'd go the cousin route 2 movies in a row. And I don't really, unless it'd be like maybe Billy's brother. Maybe he was too young when it happened in the first one, and now he's older and he wants revenge for his brother. Maybe. But I think we need to get away from the family stuff. We do that in so many other movies. Jason killing for his mom, Michael trying to kill his sister Lori in the original. We don't need any more family stuff, I don't think. Ashley said, sorry, Halloween. Yep, Halloween 2 and 4 are good. And it could have ended after either one. But, like I said, I'm not going to complain. I mean, we probably don't need another Scream movie. But I'm fine with it. Once the theaters, I mean, they're open where I live right now. I haven't been there since they've opened up. But once Halloween Kills comes out, I'm going to the theater, and I don't care who's sitting by me. You got COVID or not, I'm still going to see Halloween Kills in the theater. And I'll definitely go see Scream 5 in the theater. And any of these other horror movies that come out, I will go see them in the theater. It ain't going to stop me from seeing them because I love these movies. I just wish we could get Jason over here. Oh, wait. Damn. Jason right there. Get that shit worked out so we can get another one of those. And I know a lot of people love Nightmare on Elm Street. Get one of those worked out for you guys. I'm not a Freddy guy, so that don't really matter to me. But for you guys, I hope they do get that shit worked out too. And you get a new Nightmare for you people that love Freddy. I think a movie that does need rebooted, I saw this on Killer Flicks, I believe. A movie that needs rebooted, I Know What You Did Last Summer for sure. It's been since I Know What You Did Last Summer came out in 1997. It wasn't bad. It pretty much kind of copied off Scream a little bit. It wasn't bad, but I think we're due for a reboot, definitely, and I wouldn't mind seeing one. New take on the Fisherman Killer. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Definitely don't bring. Just start fresh. Don't make another I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel. Just go reboot. Not that we need it. We don't really need reboots. There's enough of them, but I wouldn't mind seeing what they could do to make it kind of better than the original one we got. But like I said, I'm excited for Scream 5. I love Scream. It's one of my favorite franchises in horror. I'm a slasher guy, obviously. Hey, Jeremy, what's up, man? I appreciate you stopping by, man. That's awesome. Thanks. Scream is your favorite horror franchise, and I don't blame you one bit. I know that's Brett's favorite franchise too. I would say I'd say Scream's probably my slashers. I'd give Scream my third favorite slasher, I would say. I'd probably go Halloween, Friday the 13th, and then Scream. Nightmare's down there for me. I just don't like it. Jeremy says, I love a reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer. It would be awesome. It would be. I would love it if they would do that. But I wouldn't say, I'd never say never, I guess. It could probably happen. And I wouldn't doubt it one bit. If there's money to be made, Hollywood's going to make the money. Once this COVID bullshit goes away, and once Halloween Kills and Candyman and all these movies come out and make bank at the box office from all of us horror fans, there'll be more to come, obviously. There'll be more to come. Another sequel I would like, though, is a sequel to the My Bloody Valentine 3D from, I can't remember the year when that came out. Late 2000s, maybe? 2009 also? No, something like that. I love that movie. So I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to that. But it might be too long down the line to get one of those. Or they could do a sequel to the original My Bloody Valentine from 1981. If you can choose an actor or actress to include in Scream 5, who would it be? Huh. That's a tough question, Brett. That's a very tough question. I don't know if I can answer that. I don't know. You know what? Shit. Let's just bring in Jennifer Love Hewitt. Screw it. She could come back and be one of Sidney Prescott's friends. It's a big name actress, and maybe have her get killed off early on. I know it ain't gonna happen, but that'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing them two together. Those were the two hotties back in the mid to late 90s. They're a little older now, but they're still good looking, so I wouldn't mind seeing that. That'd be pretty cool. Damn, I appreciate everybody that showed up tonight to watch me, to listen to me ramble on about Scream 5. It means a lot. Danielle Harris, everybody loves Danielle Harris. I guess I'm like the only person that doesn't really like Danielle Harris that much. I don't hate her, but I don't think she's that good of an actress. She's really good as a kid in Scream 4 and 5. But I think she sticks to them, like, she ain't even in secondary horror movies these days. She's in, like, the basement horror movies. Straight to friggin', I don't know. I'm not a Danielle Harris fanboy, I guess. Like I said, I don't hate her, but I'm just not as high as other people on her. But, like I said, these were all my thoughts for Scream 5. I don't know if you guys agree with some of them or disagree. There's just so many options for Scream 5. It's unbelievable. And the upcoming months, and unfortunately, the year or so that we got to go, we're going to get updates off and on, obviously. If we get some crazy news, I might have to do another live show on Scream 5 down the line. But I guess if they announce freaking my man Stu or Randy or somebody's coming back, I'm definitely going to have to do a show on that. Because that would be awesome. But I think we've been going for about a little over almost an hour and 10 minutes now. I'm going to be wrapping up this bad boy because got to go to bed because I got to get up early for work tomorrow. But I definitely, like I said, I appreciate everybody that was here in the chat with me, everybody that was hanging out, talking about Scream 5. And, of course, we had to go talk about, always goes back to Halloween because I'm a Halloween guy. And got the bigger Halloween channels on YouTube. I'm one of the smaller Halloween channels on YouTube. Most of my content is going to be Halloween based. Keep watching, getting closer to October. On my channel, I'm definitely going to be releasing a lot of Halloween, Michael Myers content. Definitely a lot of top 10s. All that fun shit. Top 10 Michael Myers actors. Top 10 masks. Top 10 movies in the franchise. Or, well, you know what I mean. Rank the franchise. Ranking all that shit. Best kills. Probably rank the best kill from each movie. Oh, it's going to be loads of fun shit. Loads of fun shit. Dude. Jason. What, only an hour? Man. I got worked all day. And then come home. And hang out with the kids all day long. Sometimes I got to go to bed, you know. I know you stay up all night, Jason. I know you only get a couple hours of sleep. But I need a little bit more than that. Got to spend some time with the wife. You know. Eventually, probably maybe if I started these things earlier, I could go a little longer. But when I don't get on till after 9, when the kids go to bed, I can only stay on for so long. But I loved hanging out with you guys tonight. I appreciate everyone that was here, everyone that dropped in to say what's up. And I just uploaded a new video this morning for Netflix's The Babysitter from 2017. That was a hell of a fun movie. Definitely check out the review. It's not very long. It's only about a 6-minute review if you didn't see it yet. Check it out, my man. And I should be reviewing the sequel to The Babysitter soon. I'll be dropping that one. And I should be doing a review for 1BR, One Bedroom, from 2019. That was a pretty badass little flick, too. So I should be doing that and getting closer to Halloween, and can't wait to drop all my Halloween content for all you folks. So, like I always say, thanks for hanging out with the Futch Monster on Futch Monster Live, and you guys have yourself a scary night.